everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What in the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Askow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Askow and Sean Mann.
Hey, what's up, kids? Oh, excuse me. Welcome to Sports World Radio. Jeff Askow, your host. We're going to slam out a 2-hour sports journey show like you've never heard before on SportsWorldRadio.com. I guarantee it, kids. Lots and lots to talk about. This show is our Monday show is always jam-packed. More sports than we have time to talk about. So we got a lot to get to. So let's do some house cleaning first, and then we'll bring in the fellas, and then we'll have some fun. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to the show. You want to hang out in our chat room? We're over at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com. If you don't have an account, guess what? It's free. Get yourself a free account over there. Once you get yourself a free account, type in Sports World Radio. The show will show up at the bottom of your screen. Hit the heart that's on the right side. Click the bubble next to the heart, and you'll be right in the chat room. Type away with us and have some fun. Ask us some questions. If you don't want to do that, give us a call at 619-663-3715. That's 619-663-3715. You can also follow us over there at Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio, as well as Facebook at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. It's Sports World Radio for everything. You can find us. Let's bring in the co-host that's been with me for 6 years this month, ladies and gentlemen. 6 years. Feels like it's been 45 years. My good friend, the co-host, Sean Mann, the update man. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing well, Jeff. How are you? I am ready to rock and roll. 6:06 p.m. on the East Coast, which makes it 3:06 p.m. on the West. Weather right now, very warm and sunshiny today on the 27th of October, 2014.
It's beautiful, gorgeous, sunny out here, too, in sunny San Diego. That's why it's called sunny San Diego, you rat bastards. Also joining us like he does in each and every Monday in the first hour of the show is our good friend Nicholas Turturro, otherwise known as Nicholas Spiva. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Just hanging out after a great weekend of football. Man, you can't ask for a better weekend.
Hey, you had
It was.
You had a nice episode on Friday's show.
I haven't watched it. I wasn't able to watch it Friday. I had to tape it, and I heard it was pretty good. I haven't got to see it yet. It's still taped, so I'm ready to watch it probably tonight after the games.
You were pretty damn good, my friend. You got to say.
Am I?
Yeah, it was a really good episode. I kind of dug it. Yeah, it's kind of nice.
I'm glad you like it. All my hard work's paying off now, I think.
You're looking sharp, man. You look like you lost some weight.
Yeah, you have to. You got to move on up. You can't just stay pudgy like that. You got to get lean and mean.
Although they didn't show the new sergeant in the show last night, so who knows if they have one. But they showed the guy, the old sergeant with the commish last night. So he's, so I don't know what the heck they're doing over there. But hey, it'd be nice to see you get that spot.
Yeah, I'm lobbying for it. I hope they'll listen to me.
I bet you are lobbying for it.
7 minutes. 7 minutes after the hour,
right.
And to recap yesterday's event, I picked up 8 points, Jeff, in my football.
Yeah, screw you. Hold on 1 second. Screw you and your 8 points. Before we get any further in this debacle that we got going on that we call Sports World Radio and the three of us getting into it, I noticed something here in the chat room. Hey, Josh, that's a nice picture you got there, buddy. That's a nice picture you got there. Patriots Super Bowl champions?
Wow.
And then he's got a We Are Family thing going on. He's kissing two people's asses at once with that right there. He's got the Patriots banner. He's Sean's butt, and then he's doing "We Are Family" to Wes's butt. What the hell's going on here?
Wes is all happy because, hey, Ben Roethlisberger set a record, and I saw Jeff commenting on a photo I got tagged on for Facebook.
Yeah, you know what, Wes? Wow, he finally played a good game. Only took him 8 weeks to get there, but he finally got there. Way to go.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh Steelers, we could start off with that as the first game. They did play a good game, 51-34. Nick, did you get a chance to see this game yesterday between the Steelers and the Colts?
I did watch it. I watched a little bit of it. I get the Red Zone channel, so I go from game to game, which is pretty fun. But
Andrew Luck had a rough
yeah.
day. 26 of 45, Jeff. He passed for 400 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and 2 interceptions. Roethlisberger had a great game. 40 of 49, 522 yards, 6 touchdown passes, and 0 interceptions.
Yeah, and his quarterback rating is a 150.6, and Andrew Luck's was a 91.0. I had that game on my TV, and I refused to watch it.
Colts, I picked them in our NFL pick'em for NFL Real Talk, Jeff, and they had a chance. They got within 8 points, but a safety hurt them, and then Roethlisberger threw his 6th touchdown pass of the game. That's what the Steelers have to do. If they want to win football games, Roethlisberger has to be sharp there, Nick. And you think about it, too. They have to go to Baltimore. Actually, they have to play the Ravens next weekend.
Well, they finally played a good game. I mean, that's the way they should be playing all year long, but they only done that once. What the hell's up with that?
Josh goes, hey, don't be mad that I told you, Jeff, that the Steelers would beat the Colts.
Josh, don't be mad. Who cares? I'm not mad at that. Not at one bit. I'm actually kind of laughing that you lost your bet.
And here's what Wes says. Josh is smart. And Wes goes, you missed history in the Berg 5 times.
In the Berg. In the Berg. You don't even live in the freaking Berg. Jesus criminy. In the Berg. I like how he calls it in the Berg. You don't even live there. Call it Pittsburgh, okay? You don't live in the Berg. Call it Pittsburgh, okay? Jesus criminy. You know, my friend, my friend Rusty, and I know Nick knows Rusty, and I know Sean knows Rusty, right?
Yeah.
Rusty was at the playoff game when the Pirates in the wild card game. He was there for that game. He can say the Berg. You know why? Because he lives there.
Wes lives in what? Ohio?
Yes. Ohio. Wes, you don't live in Pittsburgh, so you have to call it Pittsburgh. You can't call it the Berg. Jesus Christ.
Josh says this to you, Jeff and Nick. It's going to be nice seeing the Chargers watching the playoffs with the Bears.
Hey Josh, you know what? I'll take it one step further. It's going to be nice that the Chargers and the Giants will be watching the playoffs. Okay? There, I took it one step further than you did, okay?
And then, of course, you go back to this game. The Colts next Monday night will be playing the New York Football Giants at MetLife Stadium. That'll be a big game, Jeff, as the Giants come off their bye to play Andrew Luck and the Colts, and Pittsburgh plays Baltimore next weekend. Nick, your thoughts on the Colts moving ahead against the Giants?
Well, I hate to tell you something. Hey, Wes, you're in the chat room, correct? Yes, he's all over the chat room right now. Look at him. Hey, Wes, I'm picking Pittsburgh next week. So Roethlisberger or the Berg better play just as well as they did yesterday next freaking Sunday, because if they don't, I'm going to eat you up.
That NFC North is a mess, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
You can't figure out what's good. Who's good?
It pretty much is a mess, too, Nick, when you think about this matchup between Pittsburgh and Baltimore, but we'll talk about that when NFL Real Talk comes on Saturday. The other AFC North game, which was a nail-biter yesterday, I picked Baltimore. Jeff picked Cincinnati. Congrats, Jeff. You got that one correct. Cincinnati was able to come back and beat the Ravens 27-24. 4 on a 1-yard Andy Dalton quarterback sneak at the end of the game.
Snuck his ass right in there, didn't he?
Had the old push on that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I was like, I was happy to see that. Now, of course, I'm going to tell you boys something. I'm going to tell you something. And you all know this. I didn't wake up till 2:30 in the afternoon yesterday. So I didn't see nothing. I missed everything. So I was catching up as soon as I woke up. I was like, oh, my God, what's going on? Who won? First game I wanted to look at was the game that you guys had to bet on. That was the first game I went to look. Joe Flacco, 43.1 quarterback rating compared to an 89.3 for Andy Dalton. Hey, Joe Flacco, you're going backwards instead of forwards. What the hell's going on with him?
I don't know. And Adrian, if
Where
you're
is
listening,
Adrian?
buddy, each losing week gets you closer to shaving that hair. For
Where
a
is
bald
Adrian?
head.
Hey, what about that call at the end of the game? Was that a flop or what?
Hey,
The pass interference call on Steve
yeah, it was a
Smith.
pass interference call. He threw him down.
threw him down. I don't think he threw him down. I
down.
think he extended his arm, and the guy flopped like Dwayne Wade.
I'm looking at the replay right now of it, and they said that he pushed off Nick, and they called that offensive pass interference, and that's what cost the Baltimore Ravens the game, which makes John Harbaugh sick.
Did he really push off that bad? Or was
Yep.
it did he extend his arms and the guy
He
kind of fell
extended
down
his
like
arms. He extended his arms, and that was pretty much it.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
like either team, but that's kind of ticky-tack foul right there.
So if you're
Although I did
Baltimore-
pick Baltimore to win, but geez Louise.
Yeah, I
So
got a
if you're-
point. I got a point on everybody on that one almost.
So if you're Baltimore, you're sick because you've lost to the Bengals twice already. You got
Yeah,
swept
that's right.
by them.
That's right. Bengals swept them this year. Hey, Schmedley,
Yep.
you're 3 points behind Adrian. You're in second
saw
place.
it.
Thank you very much. You go get him, dude. You go get him, and you take him out.
Next weekend, Baltimore at Pittsburgh, like we pointed out. And Nick, this has always been such a hostile rival
Baltimore
between
and
Baltimore
Pittsburgh.
and Pittsburgh.
And then you and correct me if I'm wrong, but Baltimore and Pittsburgh are both 5-3.
That is correct.
That's right. And Cleveland's 4-3. So, like you said, Nick,
No,
it is
Cleveland.
a very
Yeah,
wild
Cleveland's
AFC
4-3, and Cincinnati's 4-2-1.
And Cleveland's not far behind, are they? Aren't they 3-4, 4-4, something like that?
4-3.
Cleveland's
4-3.
4-3.
Record is.
Or so they're one game back, and they've already beat Pittsburgh once.
Yeah, I mean that division right there is starting to get a little tight, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
it's going to be
wacky
fun
and
to
wild.
watch.
Just a little tight. I
On that
think.
note, we got to run to our first commercial break.
You're listening to Jeff Escott Showman and Nicholas Spiva on
Sports World Radio.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear. And do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow new way to workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and Nicholas Spiva bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Hey, really quick, I was talking with the guys while we were on break, and I'm looking at the stats there, the places and where everybody's sitting in our fantasy football pick'em league. Our good friend, Mr. Frank Sprankle, Pick'em Like the Wind, went from second place all the way down to 11th place. Way to go, Frank. That was some good picks this week you had there, huh, buddy?
Can't wait till we get him on the show.
Wait till he
tomorrow.
comes on the show tomorrow. I'm going to bust his chops, man.
Bust his chops.
Poor Frank.
That's it. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Next game, Sean.
20 minutes after the hour, here we go at Sports World Radio, right back in full swing. The Cleveland Browns. This is a game I got right. They, like you said, Nick, are 4-3. They beat the Oakland Raiders 23-13 yesterday.
How about that?
What a pillow fight of a game that was.
How about that? Freaking A, huh? Freaking
Hoyer.
Cleveland Browns, huh?
And Brian Hoyer was 19-28, 275 yards, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions. And for the Raiders, the losing woes just continue as the Raiders are 9 losses away from tying the 2008 Lions and being 0-16.
I'll tell you something right now. I would not want to play the Raiders now. It's the second half of the season. They got absolutely nothing to lose. They know they're not going to the playoffs. I would not want to play a team that has not had a win yet.
You want to hear something crazy? On my Facebook last night, this guy, it's a Seattle fan, he posted a link to a page that said that the Raiders were going to trade for Marshawn Lynch.
There's been rumors about that too, Nick, that's going around about the Raiders making a trade for that. I think what a waste, just like Percy Harvin going to the Jets. But I'm sure teams are just figuring out ways to improve their teams.
What are you,
Seattle's sick of him. They're tired of his antics. I guess they want to get rid of him.
Well, you know what? That's not going to help them at all. They get rid of him. They're going to have a hard time making the playoffs, I think.
My biggest question concerning the Browns, can they win this AFC North division? Nick?
I don't know. They're playing pretty good, but as strange as this division is, they have a shot because it's up and down. I mean, one week you think Pittsburgh stinks, and now they blow out the Colts. But then you think Baltimore's great, and they get beat by Cincinnati. And then you think Cincinnati's terrible, and they beat Baltimore. So I don't know. I think they have a shot. But the second half of the season, anything can happen.
Wes says, heck no, that will not happen with Cleveland winning the AFC North. What do you think, Jeff? Do you think the Browns can win the AFC North division?
That's an interesting dilemma right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the Browns are 4-3. Pittsburgh's 5-3. Baltimore's 5-3. And Cincinnati's 4-2. Okay? And why do they have and I'm looking at the division right now. Cincinnati's leading the division at 4-2-1. But Pittsburgh and Baltimore are at 5-3. How crazy is that?
I know. I couldn't figure that out.
How crazy is that? That must irk the living crap out of Wes. That must really irk the living crap out of Wes.
Wes says the Browns will lose 10 straight games.
Hey, Cincinnati's leading that division at 4-2-1, and you got two teams that are 5-3. Unstinking believable. I don't even think Pittsburgh's going to win that division. I picked Cincinnati. I picked Cincinnati to win that division at the beginning of the season, and I'm sticking with it. And I'm going to laugh my ass off if they win that division with a tie and it stays like this close.
Wes goes, look, we beat the Browns for a decade. Come on.
I don't care about you. Listen, you don't have to worry about the Browns. You got to worry about Baltimore and Cincinnati. Okay? Those are the two teams you have to worry about right now. Don't worry about Cleveland. Worry about Baltimore and Cincinnati. Because right now you're on the bottom of those two looking up. Even though you got one more win than Cincinnati, you're still looking up at them.
This is going to be a fun division to watch because they're just going to beat up on each other.
Yes, they are.
It's going to be fun, because I'm glad I don't like any of those teams. It's always better or funner to watch. I don't know if funner's not a word, but
funner?
It's better to watch when you don't have a team invested and you can watch these guys just beat up each other.
Yeah, and I like, and this right now with Cleveland and Cleveland's 4-3. So look at it this way. Cleveland's one game really out. Correct?
Yeah, they're just one game. Or with the tie, I don't know how it works, but yeah.
You know what I find so funny though is that Cincinnati's it's 4-2-1, and Baltimore and Pittsburgh are 5-3, and they're in second and third place respectively.
It's crazy.
That's funny as all heck.
The game at Wembley Stadium, and here's a game that Jeff didn't even care wanting to watch at 6:30
You want to know something,
morning.
Sean? You want to know? I looked at my clock. It was 3:30 Sunday morning. I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I looked at my clock and I said, "There ain't no way I'm staying up for another 3 hours to watch this stupid game. I'm going to sleep." So I went to
Well,
bed.
Nick, did you watch this one? The Lions and the Falcons on Fox yesterday.
I did. I watched the first half, all the first half and a little bit of the second half.
Wait, did you get up to watch it?
Well, I have odd sleeping patterns, but I did not wake up specifically to watch the game. I was kind of up. I woke up, and then I started watching it. Then I remember, hey, man, the football's on, so I might as well watch it. But apparently a lot of people watched the game. Twitter was full of it. USA Today had a bunch of people quoting on their Twitter saying how great it is to have a game at 9:30 in the morning. So
Screw you, 9:30 in the morning. That's 6:30 in the morning out here. I bet you weren't getting anybody on the West Coast tweeting that crap.
No, probably not, but you never know. But, yeah, mainly it's the 9:30 crowd, 8:30 crowd were up and watching.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, it wasn't bad.
And how bad does Mike Smith feel because a timeout was called, and all of a sudden he pretty much cost them that game. His job is on the line. The Falcons blew a 21-3 lead, Nick, losing to the Detroit Lions 22-21. Watch out, everybody. The Lions are 6-2.
And you want to know something? I picked the Detroit Lions, but I forgot the ticket, and I took the Atlanta Falcons instead. How crazy is that?
Josh goes, that was BS. The NFL referees are the rat bass of the week. They gave the Tigers, a.k.a. the Lions, that game.
They gave the Tigers, a.k.a. the Lions, that game.
You know, I don't agree with one play is going to lose you a game. It's 60 minutes. They were up 21-0. They shouldn't have let them back in the game. So there's that reasoning right there. But you know what? One play is not going to win you a game. It may have actually won the game, but you have 60 minutes of football playing, and to come down to one game, one play, it shouldn't happen. But like I said, 21-0. What the heck happens? They forget to come out in the second half?
I guess so.
The start of the game yesterday was 1:30 p.m. in the British capital. which is 9:30 a.m. East Coast, and 6:30 a.m. on the West, and 8:30 a.m. Central Time.
Yeah, there's no way. There was no. I knew I was. Hey, listen, I almost slept through all the freaking games yesterday. Okay.
Matthew Stafford was 24 of 47, 325 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and 1 interception. Hey, Nick, got a question. Can the Lions win this NFC division over the Green Bay Packers?
I think they have a shot. I mean, Green Bay got whooped last night by
New Orleans.
And that's I picked Green Bay to win that game. I guess you're going to have to look at how significant is Aaron Rodgers' injury. I think he's got, a hamstring problem he suffered last night?
He was benched. They took him out last night. I watched a little bit of that game, and I saw him on the sidelines, and he was hurting last night.
Get this. They're winning without Calvin Johnson, without their top 3 tight ends, and they're still winning. Golden Tate is I bet Seattle is just kicking themselves for not signing him and keeping Percy Harvin over Golden Tate.
And they have a full game lead and Detroit has a full game lead over Green Bay.
And once you get Calvin Johnson back and your tight ends back, I think they get better, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
I think they will. I think they have a legitimate shot to beat
Reggie
Green Bay
Bush
this
didn't
year.
play either,
especially
did he?
if they get home field advantage.
Did Reggie Bush play?
Playoffs.
Did Reggie Bush play yesterday? He didn't
Let's
play
see.
either, did he? Right?
I think he may have played a little bit, but I don't.
Because the reason I ask, about the Lions, we all saw what happened last year when they were 7-5, and everybody said the Lions should be way ahead. They should be able to win the division, and then it ended poorly, and the Lions ended up missing the playoffs. And Green Bay was able to way with the NFC North division by just a game, Nick.
Well, Detroit right now, Detroit's leading that division at 6-2 with Green Bay at 5-3, the Bears and Minnesota at 3-5.
Reggie Bush did not play.
Did not
He's
play
on the
yesterday.
stat sheet.
Right. So he didn't even play yesterday either.
And if you're a Falcons fan, on the other side of it, Nick, they have to just be sick. They had this game in control, and they blew this game yesterday.
I don't know what the heck happened with them. It's like they didn't come out to show up the second half.
Matt Ryan, quarterback rating was 108.3, whereas Stafford's a 78.8.
Yeah, he's 20 of 27, 228, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I know.
So that's you can't blame the game on Ryan.
What was that? All done in the first half, right? Because you're saying that what was their lead going into halftime?
21-0.
21-0, and so the first points Detroit scored were in the third quarter, and it was a field goal.
Yep.
And then they scored a touchdown. So Atlanta didn't score nothing in the second half.
No.
So Atlanta played football in the first half, and they didn't play football in the second half, pretty much.
No, because they pretty much felt, Jeff, that they had the game won, and then, boom, Detroit just snuck right past them.
So Atlanta scored 21 unanswered points in the first half, and Detroit scored 22 unanswered points in the second half. Right?
Right.
Ugly. And if you're the Falcons, you're sick.
Great defensive game there.
Be let go as coach.
Great defensive game there.
Second commercial break coming up.
Wow. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, And sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, if you live in Essential.
Figure it out for yourself.
All right. What's your next game there, Schmedley?
The next game there, Jeff, the Battle of Missouri yesterday. The Kansas City Chiefs, they blow out the Rams 34-7. They scored 34 unanswered points, the Chiefs did, and that was all in the second quarter.
Thank God.
And this comes against a Rams team, Nick, that defeated the Super Bowl champions, and they were up 7-0, and then played flat starting in the second quarter.
Well, they lost 3 linemen yesterday. Jake Long, right guard Roger Saffold, and center Scott Wells all left the game. And the result of that, Austin Davis was sacked 7 times, hit 14 times, and was 15 of 25. So when you lose 3 linemen, it's going to be a long day. And you know what? You didn't see. I didn't get to watch much of that game because, like I said, I watched the red zone. But last week they had all these trick plays, and this week they came out flat, nothing really. So terrible.
Jeff, a question for you is: are the Chiefs really kind of back for real? They beat the Chargers last weekend. And then yesterday, they were able to blow out the Rams.
Well, the only team that wasn't able to blow out the Rams is Seattle. Everybody else seems to be able to blow them out.
Alex Smith, 24 of 28, 226 yards, no touchdown passes, and no interceptions, but he had a very good game yesterday against St. Louis.
Yeah. I didn't get to watch that game, and I'm kind of glad.
Nick, what did you think of Alex Smith?
Well, he's doing pretty good. I mean, he's
not beating himself.
Yeah, he's not making silly turnovers.
Correct.
Although he had no touch, but still 24 of 28. That's pretty good. I mean, 226 yards. I think they have a pretty good team. You have a good quarterback. Jamal Charles is just a great player.
And if you look at it, he got sacked twice for only an 8-yard loss. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, not turning the ball over, I think they'll be okay. But I don't think they're gonna have to get the wild card if they even want a shot at
they're still
playoffs.
Well, see, I was just looking at the division.
Same here.
And they're behind, even though they lost to San Diego, they're still 1 game behind San Diego and 2 games behind Denver.
And is it possible, again, we see the same 3 teams from last year making the playoffs? You got Denver winning the division, San Diego is a wild card, and Kansas City is a wild card. It's possible.
It's possible, but especially in this AFC, who knows? Well, okay, here's a great thing for you. Look at the AFC North, okay, and look at the AFC West. You already know Denver's going to make it, okay, and then you know Cincinnati. As of right now, Cincinnati would win that division, which is at 4-2-1. That's hysterical. But right now, okay, just for giggles, Cincinnati is in, okay? Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and San Diego are all sitting at 5-3. Okay?
That wild card could be anybody's when you look at those 5-3 records. Up for grabs.
Exactly. They're all sitting that would leave Kansas City out. So then you would be getting 3 teams fighting for 2 spots.
And right now,
I'm sorry, and Buffalo
teams that are really right there all together.
Yeah, and Buffalo. So you got Buffalo, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and San Diego, all sitting at 5-3, fighting for one spot.
And speaking of Buffalo, the
14
Buffalo
fighting
Bills,
for 2 spots, I should say.
They played the New York Jets yesterday and blow out the New York Jets. The Jets had a total, Nick, yesterday of 6 turnovers in the game, 3 interceptions by Geno Smith to start the game in the first quarter. Ugly game for the Jets, but a big win for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, Buffalo needed that to keep pace with New England. Sammy Watkins, man, I think he's got to be Rookie of the Year. That guy is just unbelievable. And the Buffalo looks like a different team with Kyle Orton, which is crazy. But they look like a different team than they did early in the year with E.J. Manuel.
They look like a good team, don't they?
Exactly. Kyle Orton, 10 of 17 yesterday, 238 yards, 4 touchdown passes, and no interceptions. Played a great game, and Buffalo just easily rolled past a Jet team that are losers, and Rex Ryan going to be losing his job, and they're having such a problem right now with the quarterback situation. Nick, if I were the Jets, I'd say, you know what? Why don't we just lose the rest of our games and just fight for the number 1 pick for the NFL draft next year? Because really looks like that.
I got an update on my phone before the show started that they're going to start Mike Vick is their new starter.
That's right, Michael Vick will be the starter next week against Kansas City.
But how about this? Sammy Watkins, 3 receptions, 157 yards, 1 touchdown.
Wow.
He should have had 2 touchdowns, but he started celebrating before he got in there and he got tackled.
Right.
And then he caught the game-winning pass last week with 1 second left. He's my vote for Rookie of the Year so far. Halfway through the season, offensive Rookie of the Year has got to go to Sammy Watkins.
So far.
But the big question is, Jeff and Nick, we've seen this with the Bills. Every time it seems like they're going to get on a roll, they're 5-2, 5-3, then they start losing and start fading away, and they're not returning to the days of the Jim Kelly era. We'll see how well they keep this up.
There's no way they're going to return to the days of the Jim Kelly era, so just get that out of your freaking skull.
I think with a veteran quarterback, they may not fade as easily as they did the last couple years because they've had young quarterbacks who've been pretty inexperienced. So maybe Kyle Orton gives them some stability.
Another game we get to, the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers. Nick, this was pretty funny. We all predicted that it would be a 3-2 game with the Seahawks winning against the Panthers. It was pretty close, but the difference would be that the Seahawks would need to win 3-2. Instead, it was 13-9. I watched the ending of the game. Russell Wilson throwing the game-winning touchdown pass to win a big game for the Seahawks. And this was not an easy game for the Seahawks against the Panthers.
Yeah, something's wrong with Seattle. They are just, I don't know, they look like a different team. They don't look like a team that started the season off. I don't know if that's because they got that turmoil in the locker room or what, but Jiminy Christmas. I thought, usually you would think they would have rolled past Carolina, but Carolina's not very good. And
I almost
Seattle,
got my
you don't
wish.
know how good they are.
I almost got my wish on Saturday's show.
That's what I was saying, Jeff. We talked on NFL Real Talk. 3-2 Seahawks, but they have to go down 10 points more, Seattle does.
13-9, though.
7
Yeah, but
points
still.
for Carolina.
I mean, when I was looking at the score and I saw it was 3-0, I was like, okay, maybe somewhere along the line Seattle can just get 2 points and we can call this game over already. I mean, that was great.
Nick, you're saying I would say there's a lot of dysfunction. Percy Harvin traded to the Jets, and now there's a thing going on, you say, with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, a lot of it came out yesterday morning before, I guess way before the regular games, but they say they're going to. He's not coming back next year.
Well, what's his comment that I'm hearing that Russell Wilson is not black enough? What the hell is that all about?
Well, Richard Sherman said it was made up. The media made that up, but yeah, that was something that came out last week after the Percy Harvin stuff. Yeah, they came out and they said there was some divide because Russell Wilson's not black enough. Whatever the heck that means.
What the hell does that mean? Not black enough.
I don't know. They asked him about it. He goes, this is Russell Wilson saying, well, I'm educated and well-spoken. I don't know what the heck what black enough means. But, yeah. But Richard Sherman came out yesterday after the game and said it was made up. So who knows what's going on in that locker room. It seems pretty dysfunctional right now.
And they say, and you hear it, Russell Wilson, Sherman, and even Coach said there's nothing going on. We're all together. There's no dysfunction.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. Their play doesn't seem like it. They pretty much have the same team as last year, and they're struggling to win games.
And I don't know. There's something going on. They're probably just making that up so the media doesn't get involved. There's something going on with that team. They better fix that soon. And that's what I was saying in the chat room. Pete Carroll should just sit down with the team and say, just focus on the NFL. Focus on football. We got a long season, and we can still go back to the Super Bowl. That's what he needs to do. Just sit
They
down
still have
and
to play San Francisco twice and Arizona twice.
Which we
so
get
their
to
road doesn't get any easier for the Seahawks.
Right.
Which we get to is the next game, another late afternoon game. I saw it. I thought of Jeff. I thought of Double-A and Browning. The Arizona Cardinals. This team is for real. 24-20 against the Eagles. Jeff, you had to be such a happy man when you saw that result yesterday.
I watched that game yesterday.
How about John Brown? Holy mackerel! What a catch!
That was a fun game to watch yesterday. I had that game going on as I had my computer on, getting ready to watch WrestleMania, Hell in the Cell wrestling pay-per-view.
The Philadelphia Eagles losing a tough one. They could have kept
that was good
pace with the Dallas Cowboys, but instead they lose. And speaking of which, with the Cardinals winning that, Josh and I were talking about this on a Skype call about the Cardinals going to play Dallas next weekend. Oh, Jeff, I can't wait till we start NFL Real Talk on Saturday to talk about this game. Can Arizona, the team that's 6-1, go into Dallas and win, even though we know Dallas is playing the Redskins? And Nick, I know you're the big Cowboy fan, but I know you'd kind of be saying, I got to be a little bit concerned about this game with Arizona coming into Dallas next weekend.
I'm concerned about the Washington game. What are you talking about, Arizona? You got to get to this game first.
Yeah, I know you got to get past the Redskins, but you got a big game against the Cardinals next weekend, which is, in my opinion, a playoff preview.
Yeah, I think so. It's an old matchup of the NFC East teams. When the Cardinals stunk, the Cowboys always had their number. So I'm looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. We're going to see how good both teams are. Halfway through the season, it's really hard to say who the best team is. We'll see if Dallas can get by Washington tonight, which is, I think it's going to be a tough game. It's always tough when the Cowboys and Redskins play. Division game, rivalry game. Yeah, you never know what happens. Even though Dallas is looking pretty good, I'm still as a snake bit, as you could say, because I'm not ready to crown the Cowboys the greatest team ever yet in this season. So they still have a long way to go. Hopefully they get a win tonight, set up a great matchup next week.
Well, this is the beginning of the demise for the Cowboys.
Jeff, your thoughts about the Arizona Cardinals? What do you think? 6-1.
This is the beginning of the demise for the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, I've said this before. The Cowboys have had plenty of opportunities during this win streak to blow it, and they've come through every time. So hopefully this is a new Dallas team. They've got a great line, great running back. So hopefully they don't resort to their old ways, but they've had plenty against Seattle. They could have blown the game. Last week they could have blown the game against the Giants, and they keep winning. So hopefully it's not the same old, but we'll see.
On that note, we got to go to our first update.
I'm hoping it is not the same old, and they freaking lose tonight. That's right. Our first update is brought to you by ShirtShopper.net. Head on over to ShirtShopper.net and get your T-shirts today. We're talking sports. They have all your sports teams there at ShirtShopper.net. So head on over to ShirtShopper.net and get your T-shirt today. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 46 minutes after the hour on the 27th of October, 2014. In the NBA, no games tonight, but guess what? The season starts tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 games. It'll be the Orlando Magic opening up against the New Orleans Pelicans. But here are the 2 games on TNT. It'll be a rematch of the Western Conference quarterfinals when the Mavericks challenged the Spurs and took them to 7 games last year in a series that the Spurs ended up winning. And that is the first game on TNT. The Spurs will raise their banner up to the rafters to take on Mark Cuban's Dallas Mavericks. And then the Houston Rockets taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's the game time for tomorrow's games. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific for Mavericks Spurs, and the Rockets and the Lakers, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. In the NHL, here are the games that we have for tonight, a total of 2 games, by the way. Minnesota Wild at the New York Rangers, and the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Edmonton Oilers. In Major League Baseball, today is a travel day. Game 6 of the World Series is tomorrow night, with the Royals having their backs against the wall. They will need to win Game 6 to play Game 7 on Wednesday night. If that does not happen, then the Giants will win another World Series championship since 2012. That is the update for Sports World Radio. The update was brought to you by ShirtShopper.net. Be right back after the commercial.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, Nicholas Spiver bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk every single Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Nicholas joins us every Monday in the first hour of the show. Nicholas and I were just talking while you bitches were listening to the commercials. We were talking about what Josh sent me. I can't remember if it was Friday night or Saturday night. Josh sent me a video of what's his name?
Caliendo?
Frank Caliendo doing Stephen A. Smith, but doing Stephen B. Smith and picking a couple of games in Friday's show, Mike and Mike. Dude, thank you so much for sending that to me. First of all, Josh, I was laughing my ass off. That was hysterical, man.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that.
And during the break, I said to these guys, I said, I want to see him do Skippy. I want to see Skip Bayless get on there, do some skating, and Frank Caliendo do, and we'll call him, instead of Skip Bayless, we'll call him Skippy Bayless.
After the Packers, of course, get to the next game, they lost against Detroit. They had won a total of 4 straight games, Jeff and Nick. Sunday Night Football, they go into New Orleans, and the Saints have no problem winning at home. They go to 3-0 overall at home. How about that game, Nick?
Saints.
The Saints beating the Packers, Jeff, Nick?
Damn Saints.
I thought it's I picked Green Bay to win, but it's always tough to win in New Orleans. They got those crowds, and I told you, I was telling Frank, I said last Friday, I said those fans are going to be all liquored up, and they're going to be ready to go on Sunday night. And that place was loud. And I don't know how significant Aaron Rodgers' injury is, but he didn't look like Aaron Rodgers. He was throwing the ball. He was missing guys left and right, throwing interceptions in the red zone. They just didn't look like the same team. I don't know what happened to them, but, man, they just weren't all there last night.
The loss hurts the Packers because now they're sitting right behind Detroit in the NFC North division. And, Jeff, your thoughts on the Packers?
What the hell are they doing?
I don't know what they're doing.
What
I
game
don't
are
know.
they playing? Aaron Rodgers, man, 2 interceptions, 93.8, and Drew Brees of 138.4 for quarterback ratings, respectively. Come on. Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers had 418 yards, and Drew Brees only had 311, but Drew Brees and them team won.
Yeah.
Josh goes, what did I tell you? LOL. And he was the
shut
one that
up,
was
you.
telling us on NFL Real Talk a few nights ago, Nick, that he says the Packers, who have they beat as far as all these teams? They beat these below 500 teams.
I
and now
didn't
they
say
go to
they
New
were-
Orleans and get stumped.
The only team that I've ever called a below-average team is the Dallas Cowboys. Where have you ever heard me call the New Orleans Saints a below-average team? I've never said it. I've never said it about any other team but the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys beat the below-average Saints, or I guess they're not below average. I guess they're pretty mighty. I don't know. But it happens. I mean, you look at the Patriots. Who have the Patriots beat? Their record is I mean, if you want to talk about who people played, Patriots haven't played anybody, really. I looked at their record, and I think they had the combined wins of like 16 wins. So, I mean, it really doesn't – it's hard to say right now. I mean, anybody goes to New Orleans, it's going to be a tough game. Anybody. So, we'll see we'll see how they rebound next week. But I think the Packers will be up there with the Lions. I don't think they're going to fold or anything, but at one game, if it's a pattern next week, we'll find out pretty quick. Well, they have actually a bye week next week, but then they play Chicago, November 9th.
So that's where you'll find out.
Well, you'll find out coming up because they play Philadelphia after that, and then they play New England. So
Well, that's where you'll find out in their next 3 games.
yeah, because it's tough to say right now. You're just halfway through the season. Like I said, I've told Frank that teams you thought were going to be crappy this year are good, and teams you thought were going to be good are crappy. So it's like bizarro Seinfeld world right now.
Yeah, I know. It's freaking crazy.
Your thoughts on this game, Jeff and Nick? The Houston Texans go right into Tennessee and blow out the Titans 30-16. Ryan Fitzpatrick, 19 of 35, 227 yards, 1 touchdown pass, and no interceptions. And for the Titans, things just get worse and worse. They go to 2-6. What's your thoughts on them and the game, Nick?
They need a quarterback. Tennessee does. Jiminy Christmas. They're starting as rookie Zach Mettenberger.
Mm-hmm.
And they just drafted Jake Locker, 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
That's
So
right.
now
Jake Locker's hurt,
is he
man.
out of the picture now?
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know what
hurt.
they're going to do for a quarterback.
Well, he's hurt. So what are you going to do?
And this was a must-win game for the Texans. They know if you're looking at this AFC South standing, Nick, you've got the Colts at 5-3. Right now, it's a 2-team race between the Colts and the Texans in the AFC South.
Yeah, it's crazy that Houston's doing this with Ryan Fitzpatrick as their quarterback. Even though they're 4-4, they're still not out of it by any means. They play Philadelphia next week, then they get a bye, and they play Cleveland. So who knows what the Texans have some good players, but Arian Foster just was unbelievable yesterday.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you play a crappy defensive team.
Big win for the Texans. They needed that one. Another game that went into overtime yesterday, the Minnesota Vikings. They played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and no breaks for the Buccaneers too, Nick. They had a 13-10 lead. The Vikings kicked a field goal with 4 seconds left, and they were able to survive and beat Tampa Bay, Jeff and Nick,
That's
19-13 in overtime.
How many of
Did
us
you guys
took
watch
the
that?
Vikings?
That
No,
was
watched
unbelievable
that.
in overtime.
Watch that game. Yeah, right.
I watched it on the Red Zone, so they just get the exciting parts. I didn't sit through the whole game, but man, that pick, the defensive touchdown to win the game, that was a heck of a play.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that game.
Hey, you gotta watch Red Zone. They get you the exciting stuff. You don't have to sit through the whole game. I watched 7 hours of just nothing but the exciting stuff.
It keeps the Vikings' slim playoff hopes alive, but they'll need a lot of work just to get into the playoffs. And, yeah, that fumble that you talked about, Nick, was a was the game, and the Buccaneers just have to be hurting. And, Lovie Smith, like Frank said, they're just like 2 years away from being a dominant force in the NFC.
We'll see.
Have you seen Mike Glennon? That guy needs to eat a hamburger. Good night. That guy is like I'm surprised he's still going. Somebody hits him good, it's like split in half.
Bridgewater.
I don't know how he's doing so well.
Yeah, Glennon was, how about this, 19 of 28, 171 yards, 1 touchdown pass, 1 interception. For a Buccaneers team that's 1-6 and they are winless at home, the Vikings are 3-5. They go to 2-3 on the road. And Nick, both of the games the Vikings have won were close games, for them to be 3-5. And they beat Atlanta at home by 13, and I picked the Falcons and lost a point on that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they play Washington next week, so they have it's not a terribly tough schedule, but they get Washington next week, then a bye, and they go to Chicago. So I don't know. Like you said, they have slim chance of making the playoffs, but it's pretty slim. I don't know if they're going to do it.
Josh says, Jeff, go back to the show after I said that you said with the analogy with the Saints are a below-average team, just because they had a 2-4 record, and then he said Tennessee needs to go extinct blow-up LP Field.
Yeah, whatever.
The next game, and this is the last game to go over. Hey, Josh, just for you, buddy, the New England Patriots and the Chicago Bears. What a day it was. I was laughing and loving every minute of seeing the Patriot profile pictures and cover photos. The Patriots prevail 51-23. A nice take, Josh, on a post yesterday, Nick. Let's see it, Josh. Let's see that profile picture and cover photo.
Wow, this was just a whooping. Goodness.
What did you think of it, Jeff? You got up and you checked it first. You're like, whoa, 51-23.
Yeah, I was wondering, who'd they play? Chicago? Did they even show up?
The Bears didn't even show up.
Jesus, criminy.
That was, and how about Lamar Houston? He sacks their third-string quarterback and does a dance and tears his ACL, and he's out for the year. What an idiot.
What a dummy.
That was what Josh said on NFL Real Talk before we go to commercial break. The biggest game of the season for the Bears, and now the Bears drop, Nick, all of a sudden to 3-5 overall, and the Pats go to 6-2.
Somebody forgot to tell the Bears this is the biggest game of the season.
Yeah, they're tied with Minnesota.
They forgot to show up for that game.
Them and Minnesota have the same record, 3-5. Way to go, Chicago.
And Minnesota.
Way to go, Chicago. Unstinking believable. Hey, Mr. Nick.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, my
hey,
friend.
Thanks for having me. It's been fun talking football.
Appreciate it. Hey, we'll be back right after this quick break. You're listening to the Jeff Pascal Show, man, on
Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee it that you've never heard a sports show like this before. All right, Sean, where are we going next, buddy?
All right, the next one that we get to, that covers all the games. For tonight's game, it is Monday Night Football on ESPN. Jeff, your thoughts, Redskins at the Dallas Cowboys, this old NFC rival going back years, but pretty much isn't a rival anymore because Dallas leads the season series.
I'd like to see Washington win tonight.
Gary
You know
One
that.
Arm would like the same thing because he's
You
so
know
sick
that.
and tired of the Dallas Cowboys.
Me too. I want to see them win tonight. I really do, but I don't think it's going to happen, but I want to see it.
You're right. It's going to be tough, Jeff, because Washington goes in against a Dallas team that is red hot, that's playing well. They've won 6 straight games after losing the opener against the San Francisco 49ers, and then they've just been on a tear. I picked Dallas in this game. I want to see Washington win, but I just don't think it's going to be easy for the Redskins tonight. And they were lucky to pull that game out last Sunday against the Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. It's going to be an interesting ball game tonight. Very, very interesting. I really would love to see McCoy have a good game and them beat the Cowboys.
Beating Tony Romo.
No. Yeah, and beating Tony Romo. But I want to see Cousins have a good game so they can win. And, I want to see that defense get to Tony Romo. You know what I mean? I really do.
In order for the Redskins to win and be in the hunt. Yeah, this is a must-win game. Pretty much every game is just to try to keep the Redskins' season alive. They don't want to have another year like last year. And, of course, it did happen. They went 2-14, which led to the departure of Mike Shanahan.
Yeah, and if it don't work out, it's going to lead to the departure of Gruden.
Jay Gruden, yep.
Yeah, better hurry up and fix it, Gruden, because you could be next.
The next topic we get to, Jeff, ready to hit you with this World Series. You asked me during commercial break, did I watch Game 5? Yes, I did. The San Francisco Giants, ladies and gentlemen, are 1 win away from winning the World Series for the 3rd time. And even as you pointed out, Jeff, it's always been the even years that work in the Giants' favor.
Yes, and I'm not liking this because it's actually been a really good World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Been enjoyable to watch because I've watched almost every game, but I still want to see Kansas City win it. Now they got to win 2 games in a row if they're going to do that.
And I think if you're the Royals, I think, hey, we have nothing to lose. We've been good at home. We've only lost once all year, and that was Game 1. James Shields did not look the best again. I thought he would get payback against Madison Bumgarner, and Madison Bumgarner is a really tough pitcher. I looked at the stats, 0.29 ERA. He is just so tough to beat, and the Giants had the right man going for them. But the question is, can they close out tomorrow's series with Jake Peavy going for them? I don't think they can because Jake Peavy got really hit hard in Game 2. I say the Royals will win tomorrow. And like I said, Royals in 7 games. This is definitely, in my opinion, a 7-game series.
Well, I'm enjoying it. I've watched more baseball in the last week or 2 than I have all season.
Your thoughts tomorrow, too, Jeff, on Game 6?
I'd like to see the Royals, win the game so we can have a Game 7 so they have a shot of winning it on Wednesday night.
They have to. They can't even think about Game 7. I always say, if you're going to win Game 6, win that game first before you think about Game 7. You can't even think about Game 7.
Well, if you don't win Game 6, you can't play Game 7.
Yep.
So don't even bother to think about Game 7 until you get there.
And, of course, history works well for the Royals. The last time they were in this situation down 3-2, that was against the St. Louis Cardinals in 1985. They trailed 3-2, and then they won Game 6.
Yeah, that has
and
absolutely
Game 7.
nothing to do with this. That nobody from that team on there. Nobody knows. Nobody played. All those boys on there probably weren't even born, most of them. So it has no bearing on it whatsoever.
Peavy against Ventura tomorrow night on Fox. And then Game 7, if that happens, Tim Hudson would be scheduled to pitch Game 7 against the Kansas City Royals. The Royals to be announced.
Okay, so they don't have a pitcher for Game 7 yet.
No, they don't.
If there is a Game 7.
I hope it is. I really hope that the Royals can win both games. And it would be so cool to see them go back home and win both games on their home field and put the Giants' World Series dreams to bed.
It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter to worry about Game 7 if they don't get through Game 6 first.
Yep.
Right?
Indeed. And, of course, now they realize they don't have to face Madison Bumgarner, who's just been outstanding the whole postseason. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Josh says, go Giants. Oh, please.
Well, that's what happens when you get on a streak like that. You know?
Yep.
That's what happens when you get a streak on like that.
But if you're another thing too, Jeff, if you're the Royals, you're also happy because at least you took one game in San Francisco. You lose 2 out of 3. Now you realize, okay, we got the home field, not in our house. We got nothing to lose. We're right in front of the best fans in Kansas City. So expect the Kauffman Stadium tomorrow night to be loud and full of elation, wanting to get this to a 7th game, which would be Wednesday night. But first, get past Game 6. Otherwise, if not, the Giants will be celebrating the World Series championship in Kauffman Stadium.
Correct. You got to do Game 6 first. Worry about that game first, and then worry about Game 7 later.
And I think, too, if you go to Game 4, too, Jeff, with the Giants, they finally woke up. You know, we were doing NFL Real Talk, and I was doing the picks with you gentlemen, and then watching the highlights of it, and I thought, okay, the Royals are up 4-1. If they can just hold them off and keep the Giants silent, they'll be fine. But then the Giants just woke up and erupted.
Yeah, it was your fault. It was all your fault.
All right, the next topic we get to, the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. Here we go. Skippy Bayless, Jeff, said that the Cowboys will show everybody tonight that they are better than the 1972 Miami Dolphins.
He's an idiot. You better hope they win tonight, dickwad. Because every time you open up your mouth like that and they don't back you up, you got nowhere to fall to but down. So you better hope that they freaking back you up.
Skippy Bayless said that he has switched his pick in the World Series to my San Francisco Giants.
Again, I'm switching because I'm a bandwagon fan. So now I'm not calling my Kansas City Royals mine. I'm going to call the Giants mine now because that's what I am. I'm a bandwagon fan. I jump to the team that's winning. Freaking moron.
Skippy Bayless said that Tony Romo is better than Dan Marino.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Really? Not in Tony Romo's lifetime.
He's only won 1 playoff game, and Dan Marino has won a lot more playoff games than Tony Romo. Come on, Skippy.
You're a moron, Skip. You really are. You really, really are. Tony Romo is better than Dan Marino. What a stupid comment that is.
He would probably say, well, how can that be so stupid? Because look what you're seeing.
Well,
you're seeing a quarterback that's better than Dan Marino.
He's
and has
not
a chance
better
to win
than
a Super
Dan
Bowl.
Marino. He's not even close to Dan Marino's status. Jesus Christ. How can you say that Tony Romo, who's won 1 goddamn playoff game in his career, is better than Dan Marino? You, my son, my friend, are a moron.
Wait, a week from this Wednesday, Jeff goes to New York, and then he'll be saying, ESPN, please have me come on so I can talk some common sense into this guy.
Better than Dan Marino. What a jackass you are, really.
Skippy Bayless said that my New England Patriots will beat my Denver Broncos this weekend.
And my team's going to beat my other team. You know how rainbow flaggish that sounds? My one team is going to beat my other team. You're such a moron. So in other words, you can't lose. Because either way, either team wins. I told you my team would beat my other team. What an idiot you are. What an idiot you are. Do me a favor, Skip. Instead of picking 8 to 10 teams, pick one and stick with them.
He would probably say, well, what's the matter? Why do I have to stick with one? Can't I just be more opinionated and go with the winners and go with my this and my that?
No, because that's not your really freaking team. You're just jumping on their bandwagon because they're winning. That's all you're doing. That's it. Which proves to me you're not a true fan of any freaking team.
Skippy Bayless said, my Cleveland Cavaliers are better than the Jordan Bulls teams in the 1990s.
You're an idiot.
And we're not even in the 1990s.
You're
this is
idiot.
2014.
You're a freaking moron. You know that, Skip? My Cleveland Cavaliers are better than my Chicago Bulls of the 1990s. Do you know how much of a moronic statement that is? It's not even the same game anymore, you jackass.
Skippy Bayless said that David Blatt will win NBA Coach of the Year.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
He probably would say, how am I an idiot when I know that the Cavs are going to be so good this year and they got a good coach that can coach that team?
How do you know? How do you know? Are you with that team every single day? Do you see what they're doing? Do you practice with them? Are you talking with them every single day? Are you with them? Are you spending every waking hour with them? No, you're not. So how the fuck do you know? You don't know. You're just assuming. And you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me, you freaking moron.
We got more to get to right after this commercial break for the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov. This message brought to you by FEMA. Be fire safe during the holidays. Only use decorations that are non-flammable or flame retardant. Check holiday lights each year for frayed wires or excessive wear, and do not link more than 3 strands. Never leave a burning candle unattended. Consider using battery-operated flameless candles which look and smell like real candles. If your celebration includes a natural tree, keep it away from any heat source or exit. Water your tree daily to keep it from becoming dry. Learn more at usfa.fema.gov.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Stay fire safe this winter. Turn portable heaters off when you go to bed or leave the room. Keep anything that can burn at least 3 feet away. Plug portable heaters directly into wall outlets. Inspect and replace damaged cords, broken outlets, or loose connections. Use portable heaters with an automatic shutoff so that if they tip over, they turn off. Only use portable heaters approved by a recognized testing laboratory. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Pascal, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, so before we went to break, unfortunately, I'm being forced to listen to this, the most stupid sports broadcaster on the face of the earth. The award goes to Skip Bayless. What do you got for me now from that jackass?
Skippy Bayless said that my San Diego Chargers are in trouble.
Oy Vazmir. They're not your San Diego Chargers, first of all. Okay, that's first of all. And then when they lose one more game, you're going to abandon that word my in front of them because you're a bandwagon fan. And you're just proving it by the remark that you say, I changed my mind. I am no longer rooting for my Royals. I am rooting now for my San Francisco Giants. That right there, my friend, is the true meaning of a bandwagon fan, which you are. And that's all you are. And that's all he is. And that's all he will ever be. I don't see him doing a lot of interviews with players and coaches, do you?
No.
I wonder why that is. Skip. How come you don't do any interviews with players or coaches? Oh, maybe because they don't like you? I see Stephen A. Smith talking to a lot of players and coaches, but I don't see you doing it. Is that because you're a jackass? Or maybe it's because you're a moron. Or maybe it's because you're a true bandwagon fan and they don't want to talk to you because you don't have an allegiance to anybody. And you prove it every single week of your life. Doesn't he, buddy?
Yeah, and then Josh says this. Skippy Bayless changes his mind more than a hooker switching stripper pulls.
Well, a hooker doesn't really strip on a pole. She walks on a street. So that really doesn't make sense. But what does make sense is Skip Bayless changes his mind more than a woman changes her tampon when she's on her period. That makes sense.
Here's what Skippy Bayless also said. He said, relax, Packer fans, even though you lost to a below-average team.
Hey, Skip. I'm going to say it. I've been holding my tongue for a while about this, but now I can't say it because you opened up the door for me. So thank you. You are a below-average sports broadcaster.
He would probably say, how am I a below-average sports reporter?
Because you are a bandwagon fan of every team, and you put the word my in front of every team that you want to talk about, and you're not the owner of that team. And when a team, like, say, maybe the Kansas City Royals does good all year, and you don't start to call them my until they get deep into the playoffs, and then when they have a bad couple of games, you abandon them, and you put the word my in front of the word of Giants, that's a true bandwagon fan. That's not even a true sports fan. That's just a douchebag.
Skippy Bayless said, I am the face of ESPN.
Oh, God! I hope ESPN suspends you for that remark right there. I am the face of ESPN. You're an idiot. If they want to make you the face of ESPN, you want to see how fast they'll lose their freaking business? If you're such the face of ESPN, why aren't you hosting SportsCenter then? If you're such this brilliant broadcaster who knows all, why aren't you hosting SportsCenter, and why are you doing a lonely radio show? If you're the face of ESPN, why aren't you on ESPN more than just once a day with Stephen A. Smith? Huh?
He also added, Skippy Bayless, he said that ESPN is the best sports media company in the world.
You're a dick. Jeff Escal also says Skip Bayless is a dick. Jeff Escal also says Skip Bayless has no clue what he's talking about. Jeff Escal also says Skip Bayless is blowing smoke out of his ass. Jeff Escal also says Skip Bayless is blowing smoke off ESPN's ass.
Skippy Bayless said that nobody can touch his analysis skills.
Bullshit. I can, because your analysis skills suck. Because you don't have any analysis skills. And I'll prove it to you by you saying that Tony Romo is a better quarterback than Steve Young, Dan Marino, Joe Montana, and John Elway.
Or Joe Namath.
And Joe Namath. That's not good analyst skills, is it? Is it?
No, he's won one playoff game.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, all those other quarterbacks except for Dan Marino have a Super Bowl ring and have won more than one Super Bowl, more than one playoff game. Correct?
Right.
Therefore, Tony Romo is not even in the same ballpark, bitch.
Skippy Bayless said, I love Jay Cutler's school, but I no longer love Cutler. Off that bandwagon. Just too careless. Not sure if really cares about winning.
See, he even said it himself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hopping off the bandwagon. Right? You said said it in that sentence right there. I'm off the bandwagon, right?
Right.
He even admits it himself that he's a bandwagon fan. He just said it in that sentence. I'm hopping off the bandwagon.
He also added this. Skippy Bayless said, you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a bandwagon fan rather than support winners than losers.
You're an idiot. That's what a bandwagon fan says. Okay?
That's what he is. He's the true definition of it.
I support my team, the New York Knicks and the New York Giants, whether they win or lose. That's a true fan.
Same here with the Red Sox, Bruins, Celtics, and Patriots.
That's a true fan. The definition of a bandwagon fan is you. When your team doesn't do good, you forget about them and you go to another team and you root for them until they do bad. And then when they do bad, you go to another team and you root for them. And when they do bad, you go to another team and you root for them. And when they do bad, you go to another team and you root for them. That's the definition of a bandwagon fan, which you are, which your face should be in the dictionary next to bandwagon fan. Because that's what you are. You even admitted it yourself.
Skippy Bayless said that Thursday night football is better than Monday night football.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. The stats don't prove it. The stats prove that Monday night football is a better contest than Thursday night football. I'm just saying. If you're such a wonderful analyst, go look at the stats and analyze, jackass.
Because Monday Night Football has been around a lot longer than Thursday Night Football.
So stupid. He says one thing, then he contradicts himself by saying something else. You're so stupid.
Skippy Bayless said that, Jeff, my New York Knicks will miss the playoffs this year.
I don't want you saying my New York Knicks because you're not a Knicks fan. You know who's a Knicks fan? Stephen A. Smith. He's a true Knicks fan. You, my friend, are not. So I don't want you even calling them my New York Knicks. Get away from that. Because we don't, you know what? Get off the Knicks bandwagon because we don't want you on it. You're not allowed on the Knicks bandwagon. Get the freak off.
He probably would say this. He goes, how can I get the freak off of it? I live in New York City, for crying out loud. I work for Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, I thought the Cleveland Cavaliers were your team. I thought the San Antonio Spurs were your team. I thought the Miami Heat were your team. You can't have them all. Take one of those. Get off of the bandwagon on the Knicks. We don't want you. The Knicks don't want you, and the Knicks fans don't want you. And I can guarantee you Stephen A. Smith don't want you on that bandwagon either. So get off.
Skippy Bayless said that my San Antonio Spurs will not win the Western Conference.
This guy is smoking some good pot. He is smoking some good dope. Because he is really filling his mind with crap. He really is. It's ridiculous, man. I'm getting tired of it.
Yeah, wait till you take him on. An Escal versus a Bayless debate. Oh, boy.
I want to get on him so bad.
Skippy Bayless said that he should be the co-owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Why not? You suck Jerry Jones's knob enough. Why not? I think you should be also. You spend enough time there, and you suck on his knob enough, and you're kissing his ass enough. You might as well be.
He's probably also saying, "Yeah, wait till America's team is back, and then you got the Cowboy fan base back."
I hope they lose tonight, because then I'm going to ask him, what are you going to say now? They lost to one of the worst teams in the NFL. What do you say now, you jackass? I really hope they lose tonight.
Then he'll come up with some excuse, and that's the way it is with Bayless. He'll
have some excuse. He's probably got it already, written down, all ready to go. Yeah, you bet. Hey, we're getting out of here a little early today. Sorry, I got some things I need to take care of, so we're going to get out of here a little early today. In fact, we're getting out of here right now. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow for another fun-filled sports talk show. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. For Sean Man, I'm Jeff Escal. Peace out, bitches. We will see you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The show's over. See you next time.
Next time? When's that?
Pretty soon.